The quality of our lives is directly related to the quality of our relationships. Most importantly, starting with the relationship you have with yourself.
Hi, my name is Giovanna, and on this channel, I'm going to show you how the communication and connection you have with yourself and your inner world directly impact the relationships, the connection, and the success you have in your outer world, in every area of your life.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Connection Code. Giovanna Elias here with you this week, and we are going to talk about 3 things you must do when you're feeling angry, hurt, frustrated, disappointed, and we're going to dive into it right now. So, before we even get to the juice of the 3 things we must do, I always say that we actually need to first notice it, name it, and navigate through it. And today we're really going to focus on the navigation part, the 3 things we must do. But before we get to navigating through the feelings and the problem and how to form a solution with that person, we actually need to first notice the problem. We need to first notice the anger, the frustration, the sadness, the feeling, the disappointment, the hurt. We need to notice that first in our body. So where is that feeling showing up? Is it like butterflies or anxiety in our stomach? Is it a pounding heart or a tight chest? Is it clenched up or tight shoulders, fists, or jaw? Do we have a headache? So first and foremost, we actually need to notice what is physically going on in our body when we emotionally feel a certain way. The second thing is then to name it. So once we notice something is happening, now we need to give a name to it. What is the emotion? Is it anger I'm feeling? Is it frustration? Is it stress? Is it sadness or disappointment or hurt? And so when we actually give a name to the feeling, when we know what it is and we're clear about it, then we can actually communicate clearly to the person or people that we have this conflict with. And the third part, and this is what I'm really going to dive into today, is navigating through it. And when I talk about navigating through these emotions and this conflict, it's really about how do we non-verbally and verbally communicate in such a way to resolve these conflicts. So here you are and you're feeling this anger or this frustration or complete disappointment and hurt in your body, and you're ruminating over this in your mind, and you have this conflict, like I said, with someone or a group of people, and you're not quite sure what to do with it and actually how to resolve the conflict. And so, like I said, we want to navigate through this. We want to be able to communicate in such a way that will resolve the conflict and get us that one step closer to feeling connected again with both ourselves and also with the person or people at hand. So what are the 3 main forms of communication that we want to practice to get that one step closer to connecting again instead of feeling disconnection? Well, the first thing is body language. And before we even think to communicate with somebody else, we want to be mindful of our own body language. Is our body language closed off? Are we reserved? Are we kept to ourselves? Are we looking angry? Is our facial expression perhaps that of bitterness or frustration? Because if that's the case, we're certainly going to walk into the conversation already giving off the wrong vibe, the wrong type of approach. And already we're saying we are not open and we are not calm, and therefore the person will approach us and the conversation with that same type of energy. And we definitely chatted about this in last week's episode about the energy that we give off. So go have a look at that as well. It's super useful. And so when we're talking body language here, we really want to be mindful. Is our body showing that we are actively listening and present? Are my eyes on you? Am I nodding and responding and actually taking in what it is that you are sharing with me when you are communicating? Am I listening? Am I aiming to understand? And is my body showing that I'm open? Am I standing tall and calm and grounded in my space and focused on you? And when we do so, when our body language shows that we're calm, that we're open, we're receptive, that we want to hear, that our eyes are on you, that we are fully present with you, then we can actually show you that this is of importance to us, that we care about this, and that we want to take that step closer to understanding in order to be able to connect. So, the second thing we want to be conscious of is our words. Are our words clear? Are they concise? And if we've already done the noticing of our feelings in the body, that being able to name the emotion, then we certainly should be able to show up and clearly express through our words what it is that we're feeling. And this is where vulnerability comes into our words. This is where sharing emotion-centered words are so important. And so what that really looks like is, rather than having a conversation of blame and of pointing the finger and saying, this is about you and you made me do or feel this way, it looks more like flipping the table on yourself and saying, I feel angry or frustrated or disappointed when this situation happened or when these words were said. And therefore, now your words become that much more powerful, because rather than using them as a weapon for blame, you're actually using them to show your courage and your vulnerability to clearly express yourself. That way the person can really connect with you and better understand where it is that you're coming from. What's also really important when we talk about words is to actually repeat back what each other are saying. And so you want that person to repeat what it is that you said, and for you to also repeat what it is that they have said. Therefore, you reach a mutual understanding and are both mutually clear about what it is that you're both saying. Because oftentimes, while we may speak the same language and use the same words, our interpretation of them may be extremely different. So we really want to be mindful. Are the words you're using and the words I'm using mean the same thing to us? And are those words getting us that one step closer to understanding each other and therefore connecting? So the third and final thing that we must do, that we want to be extremely mindful of when we communicate with someone and try to overcome this conflict with them and build that greater connection, is to actually be mindful of our tone. And so while our body language is extremely important and the words we use can mean a lot and go a long way, our tone is what says it all. And people feel our tone and they feel the energy of our tone. And so we really want to walk into a conversation with a tone that can be firm yet gentle, that can be concise but yet sincere and authentic. That while you can be very clear in your tone about what it is that you desire, what you expect, what your boundaries are, what you wish to see moving forwards, you can still offer a sense of compassion and empathy and gentleness in your tone. And so we really want to be mindful that we don't walk into these conversations with a degree of aggression or frustration or anger or even passive aggressivity. We really want to walk in with a calmness, with a gentleness, with a directness and a clarity, but also with a tone that says, I hear you, I understand, and this is what's also important for me. And that there's compassion in your voice, and there's understanding in your voice, and that you have mutual respect for yourself and also for the other person in front of you. So we really want to be very mindful of our tone and how we deliver our words to other people, because the tone is the very thing that people will feel. They will feel that vibration, and that is the very energy that we will leave people with when we're finished the conversation. So going back to my initial point in my video that I did last week as well, we always want to be mindful of the energy we're giving off, and our tone certainly can give off that sense of strength, that vibration, that energy that we really want to be mindful of. And so we always want to leave someone feeling that we want to understand them, that we respect them, that we're clear with them, but we are also compassionate towards them. And therefore, we can get past the barriers of this aggression, of the conflict, of the fighting, of the anger, and really penetrate through into a space of connection. So, in a nutshell, when we are feeling these extreme emotions, this anger, this frustration, this disappointment, this hurt, we want to be mindful, one, of our body language when we are communicating with someone about those feelings, two, of the words that we choose to use when we express ourselves and our emotions, and three, how are we delivering these feelings with our tone? And is that body language, are those words, and is that tone an effective way of communicating and expressing yourself in order to reach that overall connection and understanding you want to have with someone at the end of the day? So the next time you're feeling frustrated or angry or really hurt by someone and you want to get those emotions off your chest, then I definitely stress that you must communicate in these three ways. That you are mindful of your body language, that you're mindful of the words that you use, and you're mindful of the tone and the way in which you express yourself. And so when we check in and we see that our body is open, calm, grounded, and present, that our words are firm, clear, yet gentle and compassionate, and that our tone is sincere, it's authentic, it's vulnerable, and it's understanding, then we can definitely, most certainly through our communication, get that one step closer to feeling heard, to feeling acknowledged, to feeling seen, and to feeling respected through our communication, and therefore to overcome these conflicts that we have with other people in our lives. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful week ahead. If you enjoyed this video today, then I ask that you like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, leave comments below, and please share with me anything you may be going through yourself or anything you'd like for me to do videos on. I love the interaction. I love hearing what's going on your end. Click on the bell for notifications for the future upcoming videos, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week for another video here on The Connection Code.